All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The time is 6:01 p.m. This is your a special meeting of the Board of Selectmen, and the date is January 21st. Before this meeting begins, I just wanted to note that the meeting is not being live streamed, simply so as to avoid any candidate from potentially having an unfair advantage, knowing any of the questions. And we did this last week, on Tuesday, with our first two finalists. This meeting, however, is being audio and video recorded, and it will be eventually replayed on Channel 9 and placed on YouTube as well. If a resident would like the Board of Selectmen to potentially ask a question, we ask that you type your question in the chat, and we will attempt to get to it time permitting, and making sure that it's not on a list of prohibited questions as well. And with that, Mr. Mullen, thank you for coming. And
thank you for having me.
Applying. Absolutely. We have allowed all candidates to simply have the floor and introduce themselves. Anything that you feel the Board of Selectmen or any of our residents watching should know about you.
Yes, and on that note, Mr. Chair, I first want to take a minute to thank you, and members of the board. I of the honor, of being for the honor of being a finalist before you this evening. It is a real honor. And as you know, my name is Mike Mullen, and I'm extremely excited to work for you, and for the residents of Dighton as your next administrator. As you know full well, Dighton is a tight-knit, and it's a special community on the move in so many ways. And this really makes the opportunity to work for you, and the residents of the town, and the team at Town Hall, and all the department heads, and all the employees of Dighton extremely exciting. And really, I want to be part of, the future of Dighton. And I really do believe, the experiences that I built, in local government and county government, in state administration for the last 13 years, all of those experiences have had a really strong focus in grant writing and grant administration. And I really believe, all those experience really coupled with the experience I built as a local official in Rockland, as a member of the Board of Selectmen, and as a member of the school committee. I serve now as a county director for Norfolk County, where I'm responsible for, developing, implementing a $31 million budget. In addition to all the collective bargaining responsibilities, in the work in all our facilities as well. Additionally, I served as the chief of staff to the former mayor of Brockton, and I have a lot of I have additional experience in grants, in economic development, and really working to shepherd the goals, of our community, of the city, all that forward. And I really do believe, to harness, and the ability to harness all those experiences and to bring them to Dighton, I think is a really special opportunity. I've had the ability over the last few months to get down to Dighton. I've attended your special town meeting. I've been out and about on the weekends. I spent time with the Lions Club on Saturday. And I really think, and I really understand how important it is, for an administrator of a community, to become a vested part, in the community, to lead by example, and to lead rightfully, and just really being accessible, and prioritizing resident and customer service the whole time. That's who I am. It's who I want to be. In Dighton, and I really do, and I really think everything I know about Dighton, everything I've learned, really, I think really, the town shares all those same values, and the board does as well. So thank you, Mr. Chair. I look forward to the questions.
Thank you, sir. My first question, and we're all going to rotate the questions as we did in our previous interviews. And I'll start off. We're currently in the midst of an unprecedented pandemic. Have you had to lead a municipality or county during this public health crisis? If yes, Please describe the measures you enacted to ensure that public services continued during the pandemic. If no, please describe the measures you would take to assist the town of Dayton in continuing to ensure that the public services our residents expect remain mostly unaffected during the pandemic.
Yes, and wholeheartedly. And as a county director and administrator for Norfolk County, it's exactly what I've had to do. And I think, like anyone, all of us who have had to do this work over the last actually almost a year now, but 10 months, like understands how grueling and how challenging it's been. Um, and I think I've never heard the word adapt and adaptability as much as I think we all have uh, in that period. But that's really been what we've had to do. And I've really tried to, as administrator for Norfolk County, I've tried to lead by example in doing it. Like first of all, we have had to, all these efforts, in terms of our employees, like we've had to first really, in terms of like our obligation to the public. Uh, uh, we also have an obligation to our employees and the public who we serve as well. Early on, we took steps, as I believe Dayton has, to limit access to our public buildings while still actually maintaining all their functions. And we've been able to do that. We involved in those efforts have involved a lot of impact bargaining, collective bargaining efforts, and I've been able to very effectively lead them. And I've been able to very effectively lead them. Uh, you know, like we've had issues, as you know, with the FFCRA that we've had to implement. Like we have had to implement other protocols that like are unique to our buildings because we serve like and rent our spaces out as a county to the trial court. And we've had to have an amazing line of communication with them, which we've maintained. But like again, we've had to bargain. We've had to constantly work with all the public health officials in each of our communities to make sure like all of our properties, all of our functions as a county, like as they exist, in six of our communities really, oh, you, actually follow and adhere to like obviously the federal and state protocols, but the local protocols as well. And we've done that, but it's also getting information out there. And we've as you know, we've uh, in terms of Norfolk County, all of us went through a budget process at the same time. And we expanded our website. We expanded our technology as well to make sure, in a pandemic, we're communicating with our stakeholders, and with our residents and everyone who is our public facing or our public focus audience, that they have all the information and the access to our budget, to our emergency response, all those issues as well. And I've been able to lead those efforts, and I've been able to do that as well. On top of all that, it's been really managed our process with the state and with the Executive Office of Administration and Finance relative to CARES Act funding, in the reimbursements that, that county and Dayton, and a lot of cities and towns are eligible for reimbursements. And I manage that process as well. The county, we are in a little bit of a unique role, similar to Bristol County, in the work that they do and work. Uh, working with Maria Gomes in Bristol County, and our other partners, we've been able to do that to make sure, in Norfolk, uh, in Norfolk County's case, we get reimbursed for the $250,000 we have spent responding, and we have an agricultural high school as well. And a lot of those efforts, and a lot of the reimbursements are for that. But yeah, it's been a year. I'm fully aware to all the local public health protocols where I've tried. And work to be in sync with, as I mentioned, all six of our communities. Communication has been key. Having information out there and being and understanding that at this point, really 10 months in, I think a lot of employees are really stretched. I mean, in terms of the in terms of the staggered work schedule, like everything they're dealing with in their home lives as well. It hasn't been an easy time for all of us, but making sure at the same time, like our employees are supported, and the morale continues, like in the teamwork mentality and the collaborative spirit we'd like to have as a culture is able to continue.
Thank you, sir. Selectman Pacheco?
Yes, first of all, Mr. Mullen, I would like to thank you for applying for the position of Town Administrator in Dayton.
Thank you.
My question is, and I know you've answered this in your resume, but I'm going to ask the question anyway because I have to ask everybody the same question.
Yep.
What is your experience with writing grants, and can you give me an example of a successful grant that you have written?
Yes. Actually, yeah, like grant writing and development, like in the implementation of that, has been a part of the work I've always done. Like it's been involved in my work as a local official in Rockland. I'm involved in my work at Brockton a lot. Like it's been involved in my work in the county as well, and I understand how important, in all the work, your previous administrator has done, and the successes, frankly, that she had in doing it. I understand it's a priority for the board going forward. Like recently in Norfolk County, I led the formation of a public health nursing effort. Uh, like actually a regional public health nursing effort. Um, uh, uh, Actually between the towns of Avon, Holbrook, and Randolph. And it was a $45,000 grant. Like I actually identified and sought out on behalf of Avon, Holbrook, and Randolph. At the time I brought it forward to them, I presented it to them, like as an idea where the communities had the ability to work together. And they were based on my relationship with the local officials in the communities that were existing. There was fairly quick buy-in. At that point, I presented a few options, and then I wrote the grant. A few months after that, we were successful, in having it awarded to our group. And then I was responsible for the project management of the grant to bring and keep everyone together. Like it was at a point where there was like a lot of turnover in the departments and each individual community as well. But I did lead the grant. But I did lead the grant effort to completion. And actually the completion of the effort like happened right before the onset of COVID. And I'm really proud of the work. That the formation and the foundation of those efforts have had over the last 10 months, because a lot of those efforts have continued. But additionally, in the town of Rockland, I've actually written as well, and I've implemented a mass development grant. It was a technical assistant group. It was a technical assistance grant to actually a plan for actually additional growth and development along our downtown corridor. I also wrote and implemented our two MDI grants, Mass Downtown Initiatives, for the town as well. In Brockton, I managed a Gateway Cities Park grant, for a $4.3 million renovation of the City Hall Plaza. I led the planning efforts. I brought a host of people together for the planning efforts, which obviously in the planning, nothing is assured that the construction will happen, or that the construction will be funded. And I brought everyone together from the Firefighters Union and to accessibility advocates as well. And at the end of the process, actually, Governor Patrick came to the city. And he awarded the city all the construction, actually all but $300,000 of the construction funding to do it. Additionally, in my younger days, actually when I had here, I also led efforts in Rockland back in 2008 and 2009, when the town actually through a grant that I wrote, had applied for solar rooftop array grants on top of one of our elementary schools and on top of one of our high school as well. So yes, I have experience with grants, and it's not and it hasn't only been experience in one issue or one area. It's really been in a broad array of areas.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I had a Zoom blip. Selectman Goulart.
Welcome, Mr. Mullen. I'm sorry I didn't get to meet you when you came to town.
No problem. I had a great visit. And I brought some baked goods as well, which I think might have been widely received.
And appreciated.
Thank
I
you.
did get to town hall after you had been there and they made sure I brought something home.
Perfect.
So thank you.
No worries. Thank you.
So my question deals with unions.
Yes.
In whether it's, well, for example, how many unions do you have in Rockland and how many do you have in the county? And what is your role in, as a selectman
Yep.
with unions and also your role at the county?
Yes, and there are two different types of relationships. You know, I mean, in the traditional, like in terms of the difference in, like in terms of my roles, like in both instances, but also, like I do have experience also like working with unions and bargaining as a member of the school committee in Rockland as well. But to answer your question, in terms of at the county, like it, you know, in terms of the county and in the city of Brockton is where a lot of my hands-on experience in negotiating has come from. We have 3 employee units at the county. We have a facilities maintenance unit. We have an engineering unit, and we have a registry unit. You know, and I as the county director, I'm responsible for bargaining with them. I'm responsible as a commissioner's liaison. You know, in terms of any any impact bargaining, you know, that is necessary as well. And we've had to do that on multiple occasions over the last year. But I am proud to say that in all these years are blending together now. But in October through December of 2019, I was able to finalize all the negotiations with you know, with our registry and maintenance units, where we settled with them on a 3-year contract. And on our engineering unit, it took a little longer, but like we were able to come to an agreement on that in February 2020. Additionally, in Brockton, like as well as Norfolk County, I think one of my strengths, you know, is being able to have a relationship, and to build credibility, and have trust with the unions, you know, in the times where we aren't, like actually actively bargaining as well. You know, and I have a relationship. We're able to have a dialogue, you know, like and build trust and credibility. So when, whether it's in bargaining, or on any other issue, we have credibility, a dialogue and a back and forth, and I think that is extremely important. Like in Rockland as a selectman, we like for the past, I believe, 10 years, the town has left a lot of those responsibilities, you know, like exactly in the same way I handle all the responsibilities in Norfolk County as the administrator. We give that authority in Rockland to our town administrator. You know, but we work to set the perimeters, you know, and the priorities in the bargaining process as well. I understand how that happens. I understand the feedback that is needed and involved as well. In the school committee, actually going back a few more years, but like on the school committee, as school committee members, we were active members, you know, of the bargaining teams as well. So in short, I have experience with all facets of bargaining, you know, in terms of you know, in terms of negotiating collective bargaining agreements, and in terms of any impact bargaining that's needed, as well, like as the arbitration process and all that, you know, in the grievance process as well. I have experience in all of that. I'm not afraid of it. you know, I'm knowledgeable in it. And I think the relationships that I've been able to build, you know, as part of those processes with union leaders and union representatives, like is actually something I'm very proud about.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Selectman Goulart.
Mr. Mullen, one of the town of Dayton's priorities is protecting our open spaces and wetlands, preserving our rural character, and promoting agriculture and our farming community, all while balancing responsible development and growth as outlined in our 2014 master plan,
Yes.
with our need to professionalize and modernize our municipal government. And I know that's a loaded question, so we'll give you a moment. How would you assist the town of Dayton in making progress towards these goals?
Yes, I'm just gonna write down a few things if I could, just for a moment. But yes, I wholeheartedly understand the importance of doing all of the above. And that's not my answer, by the way. But you know, like, and one of the things I've been struck, and one of the things I've really admired, and it's and it's turned into one of my favorite spots in town already, is a Pleasant Street area. You know, like in the area around County Street and Main Street as well. Like in understanding what was laid out as a vision in the master plan, like in what the whole town and but the whole area represents. And you know, actually driving through there and like in driving through Tricentennial Park, I believe, like just really the beauty of the Taunton River right there. Like it's just magnificent. So I wholeheartedly understand that priority. You know, in terms of balancing both, first of all, I come I come from a small town as well, you know, that's dealing with the same issues. We want to reflect our past and the history, uh, like in the culture that we all have, you know, but adapting with like all the changes and you know, and the different types of growth as well. But in terms of how it relates really to the master plan, you know, it's something that, like in my opinion, really can't be done in a silo. You know, it really needs to be a process that wholeheartedly involves the Board of Selectmen. Like it involves the planning board. Like it involves really the residents of the town from the ground up as well. You know, in order to chart that course and a vision for the future. And I think a lot of that work really starts with defining like exactly what the areas and the priorities are. Like identifying the areas, you know, and having consensus like of what those areas are. Is it going to be, you know, is a priority, for example, going to be, you know, the intersection in the area of County Street and Main Street, or is it going to be or is it going to be the route, or is it going to be the Route 44 corridor? You know, like actually making sure those priorities, like in the location, like or the locations and what the general vision, like is for all that. You know, I mean, and again, you know, that is a like a town and resident driven effort. Like we're hopefully if you do it right, and it's one of the things I've been really excited about being involved in Rockland. You know, because we created the environment, we brought people in, like and we successfully led in the case in Rockland, the 40-yard district creation, like right in our downtown center. But like again, we have to define the areas. We worked with town residents, like I mean, and we brought people into the process that, you know, involved the zoning board chairman, who has years of experience in town, you know, like, and we brought in like all of our new families as well. Like when we really wanted to make sure the effort was really representative, like of the community in the process. And then once you identify the areas and the priorities, you know, I think you work with the same group of residents and get feedback on, you, you know, what type of things would you like to see in those areas, and then based on that information, you try to chart a future, you know, like that really like reflects that where you pursue a 40-yard district, like where you do like enact or create some type of streamlined permitting, like under 43R, like or where you or where you pursue like any other type of tax incentives, and maybe it's a mix like of all the above through the ETA, like or anything else. But you know, like I think those are the key really, you know, getting like and following a plan. In this case, the like I think the plan and vision was outlined in the master plan. Like I think then really harnessing and further identifying like exactly where you want to focus. You, you know, then trying to identify the tools that may exist, and the tools that are out there. Um, and throughout all these efforts, it's really maintaining buy-in. Like it's generating excitement that will continue. Like in the life of the effort, and as we know, these all these efforts really don't happen overnight. Uh, there are multiple year efforts that take a lot of time and commitment and energy. Like and really harnessing all that issue through the process. Like at the same time, you really want to, you know, I mean, a lot of these issues involve infrastructure needs, like infrastructure priorities as well. You want to be focused on them. I can really working to market the community at the same time. So when you, hopefully at the end of the day, or like or halfway through the process, when you're getting the pieces in place, like you marketed the community enough, like as a place where you can attract what you want to attract. And you know, I mean, it's working with Serped, it's working with other regional stakeholders, and you know, I think those are a lot of the ingredients about how to do it. But at the end of the day, remaining focused, like on having the residents involved and helping to drive the process.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I was going to make a slight joke about the speed limit on Pleasant Street being changed.
Yep.
I will respectfully pass. Selectman Pacheco, sir.
Thank you. Please share a time when you faced an unexpected challenge, and how did you overcome this challenge?
Yeah, like if I could give you two, if that's okay. One is very personal, and one is more professional in nature. In terms of my, you know, my most personal challenge, if it wasn't actually evident already, you know, I've had to deal with something my entire life, and in terms of having a speech impediment, and it's something actually, you know, I'm not sure, like maybe it's been evident, maybe it hasn't been so far this evening, but it's something I'm proud of. And I think it's ironic that, you know, I would want to be driven, and I have been driven, to a profession and a calling that would really hinge on very strong public speaking, and presentation skills. And, you know, I just, like if you asked me as a junior high kid, I would never have guessed that, you know, would be what I would eventually want to do. But I believe in public service. I believe in the role of an administrator. I'm a town administrator, and being such an invested part in a community that I'm so passionate about it. And because of that, I think I work harder than anyone else to actually overcome what I've had to deal with, and in terms of preparing, in terms of practicing, in all of that. And I really have worked to try to transform something that could really be construed as one of my biggest weaknesses, into something I'm really proud of. And frankly, the challenges I face relating to this, uh, in having a speech impediment, they have made, you know, like a lot of things harder. But I think it's instilled in me the values, of who I am. I think it's really shaped my approach, and how I listened, and how I work with and respond to people. I can really work with people. Uh, you know, like and give everyone, uh, you know, the time and the attention that they deserve. But yeah, like it's something even as challenging as it's been, I really wouldn't trade anything about it. In terms of a challenge, that I professionally had to overcome, uh, um, and I actually dealt with it, and I wrote about it in one of the essays that I wrote. Um, I was a few years ago in the town of Rockland. We went through a very challenging time. You know, and I, as a member of the Board of Selectmen, we had an issue like in our town hall that involved members of the Board of Selectmen who I serve with, and then involved other town employees. And like it was a very challenging issue. And still, like, I'm fairly limited on what I can say about it because of ongoing litigation. However, like, I'm really proud of the fact that from the outset of that, I understood as a selectman, like I had a responsibility only to my town and to myself and my family. And I had to represent our town. Like it was our hometown, for God's sakes. And we, it's a town, like, and all of you understand, like what, like actually our towns mean to us, like, and what they mean to the residents who we serve. Like, and I knew that in everything like everything we did at the time, uh, like we needed to uphold that. Like, and we went through a very challenging 6 months with a whole ton of issues that we had to deal with. But I think I acted responsibly, very responsibly. I mean, I tried to, when we had information that was appropriate to share, uh, like understanding all the issues that we at the time were dealing with, I felt it important to share it. Like really communicate with the residents of the town what was happening, and that we were like in a good place despite our challenges. Like, and at the end of the day, we really used a very challenging time to come up stronger, and an opportunity really to reset like how we really were doing business as a town. We like it gave us a second or a few seconds to pause, like and really do a self-assessment, like and really take some time to actually chart a more positive future, like in the way that like I think we wanted and we envisioned, and that the residents of our town envisioned as well.
Well, I want to thank you for that answer. It must have been difficult. Thank you, though.
Selectman
Thank you.
Goulart. Thank you, sir. Selectman Goulart?
Mr. Mullen, in Rockland, do you have a separate Board of Health, or is it the Board of Selectmen?
We have a separate Board of Health.
Is it elected or appointed?
It is elected.
Okay, how many members?
We have 3 members of our elected Board of Health.
Are you also a 3-member Board of Selectmen?
We have a 5-member Board of Selectmen.
Okay. So when you, with this pandemic that we're all dealing with,
Mm-hmm.
does the Board of Health, I assume, takes the lead, but do they work cooperatively with all the other departments and the state officials? We used to have, the Board of Selectmen used to be the Board of Health in Dayton, and we did separate a few years ago. And our Board of Health 3-member board is an appointed board. And so I'm interested in the interaction with the Board of Health. And also, I don't believe the county has a Board of Health, but the county's relationship to the communities
Yes.
in your county relative to if it's boards of health or some other organization.
Yes, wholeheartedly. In terms of Rockland, like one of the thing, and like an understanding, like an understanding the charter of Rockland, like is a lot, in terms of how, in terms of having different, like elected appointed, different elected and appointed groups who, who answer to different people. But at the end of the day, they still have to work together, and to collaborate as one. I think there was a lot of instances and like a lot of examples. I'm actually not only with the Board of Health, but like in other instances as well, where you, or the town of Dayton has elected departments, but they, at the end of the day, you have to, as a town administrator, have a relationship and to try to work with everyone and to encourage everyone to move in generally the same direction. And I have a lot of experience in doing that, first of all, in both Rockland and the county. With our Rockland Board of Health, we the health agent who works who works directly for the Board of Health. Like one of the things that I'm really happy about, like is over the last 2 years, we have made the relationship between the Board of Health, like and the health agent much more, much more of a positive, like in a collaborative relationship with the Board of Selectmen, and the town administrator. And that's something that is very, like it's relatively new in Rockland, but especially with the pandemic, it has proved to be extremely beneficial and helpful and productive because you're right, like all the directives coming from DPH, like and all the uh, like in the federal governments as well, they have to be enforced by both the town administration, like in the Board of Health as well, and it and it really like and that really requires a really strong set of collaboration, and we've been able to do that. And I've been able to help set the framework for that relationship in Rockland.
Okay, just a quick follow-up. In your communities, do you provide trash pickup door to door? Who manages your landfill or transfer station? What department?
We do door-to-door pickup. It is managed also by the Board of Health. That is something for for better or worse, really sometimes depending on the day. Like it is under the jurisdiction of the Board of Health. We have an old cap landfill that currently serves as our recycling center.
Okay,
Like it has yard waste and refuse, as well. It has areas for hazardous waste, and other things, and that center is managed by the Board of Health as well. Uh, in terms of the county's relationship with our local boards of health, uh, especially in the county communities where we have buildings and employees and our presence in, that relationship, is huge. And we, I'm very proud to say, especially in Dedham, which is the seat of the county, where we have a significant footprint, like we have, like, uh, uh, like 4 buildings, and we're involved in other aspects of the community as well. Like we have, uh, uh, like an amazing relationship with the public health nurse, with the Board of Health and with the health agent there. And that relationship has been incredible and it's been needed. And I can pick up the phone on a Saturday or Sunday night. I can have a conversation with them, and we have an incredible relationship. The same thing in Quincy as well.
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Can anyone hear me?
I can.
Okay, I apologize. I'm having a little bit of internet issues, which is weird because Selectman Goulart, you live 3 doors down from me and you're not having any. So I do apologize, Mr. Mullen. I missed maybe the last few sentences. Do you mind just repeating for me? And I do apologize again.
No, that's fine. I think what you may have mentioned, as I did finish actually talking, you're talking about Rockland and our work in Dedham. Again, throughout the pandemic, I mean, especially with our footprint in Dedham, I've had to maintain a really close relationship with the public health nurse, the Board of Health in Dedham. In terms of our protocols and our employee policies as well, that have shaped how we've dealt with the through the pandemic. In addition with working with our unions on them, I've also gone the extra step, and making sure we had feedback and guidance from the Board of Health, and the public health professionals as well. And I added, especially in Quincy as well, we have the same type of relationship, where the county has the same type of footprint in terms of owning a golf course and running a golf course, as well as a courthouse.
Thank you so much, sir. And again, I do
Thank you.
apologize. My question
No
is, the current ongoing pandemic has raised many uncertainties for the future financial stability of many Massachusetts towns and cities, and I suspect counties as well.
Yes.
How would you assist the Board of Selectmen in navigating these financial uncertainties during the upcoming FY22 budget and beyond?
Yeah, no, that's a huge issue. I mean, in terms of revenues and finances, and you know, I mean, and it's why when I was in, you know, like in town on Tuesday, one of the things I really wanted to do, was I wanted to spend some time with the town accountant, you know, and talk, uh, and really get a sense where revenues were, in FY21, how they were coming in, like how FY22 was being forecasted and projected, you know, and to really, uh, you know, and to really have an understanding of those issues, like in advance of this, and like in advance of hopefully the future as well. But yeah, like I mean, I think the revenue picture, I mean, right, you know, at the present time, from what I understand, you know, I mean, I think a lot of places their revenues are, you know, I mean, are fairly meeting the FY21 projections. But I mean, I think we're all worried about the, you know, any type of cliff, like, or any type of downgrade. And I think when the excise, like, and I think in a few weeks when the like when the excise the commitments are coming through, like I think we're gonna have a better idea in terms of maybe, uh, hopefully being able to identify any trends, uh, that, you know, that will be able to shape, help shape 22. But in terms of a budget process, I mean, uh, y- like, and one of the things I've been able to do at the county, uh, you know, I've been dealing with a very, you know, a very difficult budget process, and and frankly, a budget that's been out of whack sustainably. Like, you know, like, you know, over the past few years, especially last year, like I've been able to work with people, I've been able to bring people together to bring it back in line. Like in last year alone, we made, like about like $850,000 in reductions. Like, and we did it in a way that brought people together, that didn't, you know, that try not to pit one department against the other. Like it was tough, but, you know, it involved a lot of communication, having all the information, like accessible and transparent, like and presented in a really clear manner. Uh, like, and I was able to do that thankfully, and when on I think much, uh, you know, like a much more positive and, you know, and productive, future path going into 22. You know, but as I mentioned, I mean, all this work relies, like on having and bringing together a strong financial team. You know, like it's really bringing the town accountant together with the treasurer collector, and the assessor, you know, and other stakeholders as a really strong financial team to make sure, like all the revenues and the projections that you know, that the town is thinking and considering, you know, like based on accurate trends and models and forecasts. Like, and I think that's imperative. That work really should happen all the time. But in terms of, beginning to inform, like how the following fiscal year goes, like actually goes forward, that should start, you know, in the late fall to begin to inform the, you know, the budget process. And then at that point, it's really working, you know, like working with the town accountant and with the board and with the FinCom to set, you know, and based on those projections, you're trying to, like actually like outline the parameters, like for the next fiscal year. So there's a framework, like, and that there are projections in mind. You know, all that work really coincides with the department submittal process, like in their budget process as well, because, like at the end of the day, department heads, you know, they're the experts, like in their departments, in their field. You know, like, and we want to hear from them about what their needs are. Like, and then try to fit those like in a lot of the framework in terms of employee bargaining agreements, you know, and cost of living adjustments. A lot of times, hopefully, they will already be identified. You know, but it's making, making sure they're included. You know, the departments are included in the process, and that, you know, and that throughout the process, everyone is informed with expectations, any changes in the framework based, like on changes in revenue position, any changes in state and local aid, um, you know, like if anything along those lines. Because as I mentioned earlier, one of the things that, like is just imperative now is the ability to adapt, you know, and the ability to, like in the ability to move back town meetings or to completely retool how a town meeting looks in 2020 and 2021 and probably 2022 as well.
Thank you so much, sir.
Mr. Mullen,
Thank you.
tell me about your proudest professional accomplishment and why this achievement is significant to you.
Thank you. Like I mentioned, like I mentioned it very briefly earlier. And that's a city hall. And that's a city hall redesign and renovation project that I was involved in and helped to lead in Brockton. It's important to me because, like I mentioned at the outset, that we had to work with the firefighters union on that project. When I was hired in Brockton, the city, it was at the beginning of 2013. The city in the prior fall had been awarded a grant from the state, to fund the planning portion of the project. And as part of that, the city, from what I understand at the time, tried to bring everyone together and to talk about it. But if if you're familiar with City Hall Plaza in Brockton, you'll understand that there's a fallen firefighters memorial there. For the Strand Theater firefighters, who lost their lives. There were 13 firefighters who lost their lives in 1941 at a fire. Early on, the firefighters union of the city, they developed an opposition, to the project, and absolutely understandable based, on the sacredness of the memorial. And I come from a firefighter family. My dad was a professional firefighter for 41 years. And also there was a Strand Theater in Rockland. And in 1956, the Strand Theater in Rockland also caught fire. And there was a firefighter who died in the line of duty. In that fire, and that firefighter was my grandfather. So I understood how personal this memorial was to the firefighters. But I also understood the need, in the hope of Brockton to really renovate the whole area, and to prioritize the green space there, and to really make it, a whole lot more handicapped accessible as well. Upon being hired in Brockton, one of the first projects I was handed was that. And and thankfully I had a good relationship with the firefighters actually coming into the job. And I tried to bring them back to the table. I wanted to involve them as stakeholders. I want, if there were going to be any changes in the City Hall Plaza that were going to be included as part of the design, in the planning, we wanted them at the table, and we wanted them, to really have a voice, and not just a voice for show or anything else, but a real voice in the process. And that's what we did. And we worked extensively with them over the coming months. We also worked extensively with disability and accessibility advocates as well, who were concerned about the slopes, and the grades and all the areas, in the plazas that had been existing, in the future of how those, of all the changes, and how those changes will look in the future. And I'm very proud to say, after almost a year-long effort, we got approval from the firefighters union. We got approval from the disability advocates. And we got approval from the city council to continue on in the project. And at the end of the process, and because of all those efforts, and because all the work involved in the planning with the Architectural Access Board, and other entities, we finished it. And just after we finished it and submitted it back to the state, we heard that the governor was coming to the city, and to award the city with a $4 million construction grant, a $4 million construction grant to complete the project. And if you, and if you drive around that area now, which I do, I drive through and I understand what was there before, how it could have been there forever if we didn't bring people together and understand those concerns and reflect them. And, I'm very proud of that, not only for, as I mentioned, what it meant for the city, but what it meant for me personally as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And just a quick spot check. It said it logged me out on Zoom. Everyone the meeting is still going, correct? Okay. Selectman Goulart?
So, Mr. Mullen, when you're in Brockton, this has kind of got a lot of communities involved in this. So if you think about your role in Brockton, your role in Rockland, and your role at the county, my question really concerns school budget formulation. Now, does Brockton still have the largest high school in the state?
It does, yes.
I thought, all right. So if you had a role in that, negotiations and our budget formulation, your own
Yep.
community, I assume, is a standalone school department? You're not a region, are you?
No, standalone, yes. We have our own,
Are you part
yeah,
of,
public school district,
okay, are
yes.
you part of a school district like Silver Lake or a vocational district?
No, no, like we have our own independent school district, the Rockland
Okay.
Public Schools, but then we, then just like Dayton with Bristol Plymouth, we have an ownership, like in the South Shore Vocation,
Okay,
the
right,
South Shore Vocational Technical High School.
right. And then the third part of it would be Norfolk Aggie. So
Yeah.
if you could describe to us your role, if you had a role in each of those, Brockton, Rockland, and the County Agricultural High School, as far as the budget formulation and things of that nature.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, wholeheartedly. Actually, the only area where I probably had the least role, to be honest with you, is in the city of Brockton. They have, based on the extensiveness of the school department's budget, they have their own, highly qualified, actually chief financial officer. And a lot of the things that they did was really, in terms of interacting with the city, was really done, with the city's, chief financial officer. But in Rockland, and in the county, I've had extensive experience in doing exactly what you talked about. As a member of the school committee, really that's where it started. And I really developed an understanding of school budget from the ground up. In that role that I began at 22. And to be honest with you, I'm actually horrified to think about what exactly I didn't know back then, when I was 22. But it was a process that started then, and and I was especially helpful in those processes, like in navigating relationships with the town, and with the Board of Selectmen at that town, at that time as well. In that time, we actually, as a town, we passed, I want to say like a $3.5 million override, like an operational override that actually benefited and helped the school department, like in the general town government operations as well. That was back in 2008, I believe. And we really had to, actually prioritize a really strong relationship with the town and vice versa. And we were able to do that. Like a year later, we also worked with the town. Like we had a school building project, like an $84 million school building project where we renovated our high school. And then actually constructed a new middle school right next door. We did that together too. A lot of the things in terms of the, the sometimes unique dynamics between, towns, and town hall and the school department. I was involved in really firsthand when I was elected to the Board of Selectmen. At the time, there's a huge divide between the school department and the town, and and with my prior experience as a member of the school committee, I think by nature of that, I was actually pulled right in, and and we had an issue where every other week on a bi-weekly basis, based on the school payroll schedule, we would have an issue where uh, 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 you based on tensions that existed between the two departments, the whole payroll for the school department will blow up. And and I worked regularly with the chairman of the of the school committee at the time. Uh, uh, to navigate those all those issues over like over really what became a 5 to 6 month long period. And at the end of that, we actually instituted, and helped to guide new policies that actually explained and described like how that relationship would work, and what the expectations would both sides would be. And I did that. Uh, and I worked with both the town, my colleagues on the Board of Selectmen, and the school committee and the school administration as well. In terms of really bringing everyone together on the budget, like I think actually a lion's share of my work in that, has happened in my work at the county. Like when I became, actually the county director, our relationship with the school, like with the agricultural high school, was extremely challenging. Uh, uh, and and understanding the imperativeness, I thought, to bring, and to have a working relationship. We like had like an MSBA project that we were going out for at the school, just like Bristol Aggie. And also like we have a solar project that we have a vested and mutual interest in as well. And really, in my opinion, it didn't make sense to have these high profile issues out there, and to have the tension between us actually, actually continue to exist. And I wanted to tackle that, so I tackled it head on. I developed like a way better relationship with the school business manager, and with the superintendent director of the school. And that relationship is extremely productive now. I mean, and even, uh, you know, and even in the county's FY21 budget process, uh, that we went through last year, we had to make some very difficult choices. But I think emblematic of how, that approach happened, and what the approach produced. Like actually like very happy to say that based, like on that, on that relationship, the county was able to give the school actually a little more than its mandate, like which hadn't happened in years past. And that was based, I mean, obviously on a demonstration of need, but I think really emblematic of the, of the partnership that we created. But, as we know, those relationships aren't always easy. They take a lot of work, they take a lot of patience and perseverance as well.
Thank
you.
you.
Just to
Briefly, we
follow
have,
up,
I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Dr. Z, just to
Yeah,
follow up,
we're trying to get to a resident question. Is that
right,
okay?
Mr. Mullen, what's the enrollment at Norfolk Aggie? Do you know?
As of right now, I want to say it's right around 570 students, roughly.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr. Z.
Thank you. You are very welcome, Selectman Goulart. I apologize. We only have about 2 minutes, Mr. Mullen, and I did want to have residents get a chance to ask questions. And so we do have a question from resident Jen Dushkowski of 2414 County Street, Dayton. And this question was asked of all the candidates, so I did want to try to make sure you were given 1 to 2 minutes to answer it. Can you briefly discuss your experience with ADA regulations and what you would do to build a culture of inclusion and access?
Yeah, no, I mean, as I mentioned, in terms of the ADA regulations, like in the project I worked on in Brockton, it had significant issues with, like ADA compliance with slopes, and grades and everything. And I brought together the disability, actually like Independence Associates in Brockton, and we worked with them, we worked through them, and we went to the Architectural Access Board together. Like one of the things I'm doing now, I'm at the county, as I mentioned earlier, we have a golf course, and the golf course is woefully inaccessible. In terms of a whole host of issues. And like one of my priorities this year was actually bringing a group together to focus like exactly on those. And prior to that, we every year we would improve all the sand traps and the greens and everything else, but we were letting actually the accessibility and the county was letting all the accessibility of the operation you completely run down. Like we've got a hold of that, we've harnessed that, we're changing that. Yeah, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's 2021. Those are the things we should be doing. Like I understand those are the things that Dayton is doing. And it's amazing, all the ADA upgrades. I mean, everywhere on the sidewalks at Town Hall, like in parks and playgrounds, it is really an impressive thing. And I really want to give a huge, like a huge kudos to the board and to Tom Ferry and to Superintendent Ferry, and I mean all the people that have been involved in that, because it's a very positive thing.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate
Thank you.
it. So we are at our hour mark. Everyone was given an hour. And at this point, I think what I would like to do is first, I did want to read public input. So please allow me to do that. We did receive one comment from the chat, and I did say that I would read it. And this is from Mr. Woods. He lives on Chase Street in North Dayton, and he wrote, I hope the BOS does not make a snap decision tonight to hire our new town administrator. I think reviewing the 3 candidates over the weekend and perhaps announcing it at Monday's regularly scheduled Board of Selectmen's meeting. Just my opinion on this important decision. Thank you. And I, as the select board chair, just simply want to open this up for a discussion amongst my colleagues. I put on Facebook that we would discuss and possibly vote. So I'm fully open to anything that the board is amenable regarding a possible vote. So I just want to hear from my colleagues. You may have the floor, sir.
So as you know, I don't normally agree with Woody. However, on this particular issue, I agree with Woody that we should not be making the decision tonight. We just heard the 3rd candidate who did very well, but we've had, I'd like to thank Bernie for the 3 excellent candidates that you presented us with, and I think it's going to be a difficult decision. I do think we ought to think about it, and I do think we ought to make that decision on Monday night. That's my opinion.
Thank you, sir. And I think I want to say my opinion was I felt like that request is more than reasonable as well. Selectman Goulart, of course, you have the floor.
Now, Woody, don't get carried away, because I'm the 3rd one. I'm the 3rd one who's going to say, I agree. We should, I'll call it, think about this over the weekend. I've got a lot of notes. I want to put them all out here. I want to read the answers again. And my other concern is that if we were to start discussing this now, we only have 1 candidate present. And I think it would be more appropriate if all 3 candidates actually hear the part, at least they want to sit through the meeting, to hear the discussion of what we are going to recommend and what our thoughts are. So Monday's fine with me.
Mr. Lynch, sir, you have the floor. If you had any guidance, counsel, advice, words of wisdom.
Certainly. I have seen boards make decisions that night, but most boards do take a little bit of time to step back, think about it. If possible, maybe review the tapes of the interviews, go through their notes. I make myself available to you between now and your decision. If you have any questions that come up about the candidates that you want to talk to me about, I'm here as a resource for you. And then, so that, I think waiting till Monday certainly makes sense. The other point I would just make is that oftentimes I do know that one of your candidates is here right now. We often tell our candidates, let the board make their decision without you sitting in the room. So the board feels free to make their decision as they deem necessary. So, we would probably tell the candidates the board will be making the decision Monday night, and they'll probably say, do I have to be there? Should I be there? I'm going to tell them it's up to them if they want to be there. But generally we do say, look, let the board have their space to make that decision. So, but if you want them there, tell me now, and I'll make them jump and be there.
I'll leave this up to the board. Team?
Dr. Z, my only
Yeah.
comment was not to discuss it tonight because we only have one present. I think if all three want to be there, I don't have a problem with it. If only one or two could be there and maybe the third one, something has happened that they couldn't be there. So my personal feeling is either all three or none of them are there.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to feel fair. They've been treated fairly.
Yeah, and that can often, and I think that's a great point though, that sometimes one member can't make it and you don't want it held against that particular candidate that they can't make it. So I would probably urge them to not be there at this point. So.
Is that okay? And Selectman Pacheco, that's okay with you, sir?
I agree with what Mrs. Goulart said. You know, I wasn't around to appoint Mallory as our town administrator the last time, so I'm not sure exactly what that process was. But this is probably one of the most important decisions that this board is going to make. So I really do think we ought to wait till Monday. Let's think about it. We may all have a different candidate for all I know. We can't converse with each other. It'll be Monday night. We'll express our opinions. I can be persuaded, perhaps, but I think I already kind of have an idea as to who I'd be supporting. But I really would like to think about it this weekend. And like I said, Bernie, you provided us with 3 excellent candidates, and I appreciate that.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Thank you very much. And again, if you need anything at all, just feel free to email me or give me a call.
Thank you.
Dr. Z?
Yes, absolutely. Selectman Goulart?
And for the benefit of Selectman Pacheco, remember the night we had to appoint the fire chief and we had them sitting there, how difficult that was? Difficult for us because they were good candidates, but also difficult for them to, you know, agonize while we were agonizing. So I agree. I think this is the best way to go.
Good. All right.
I think we're all in agreement on that. Before I entertain a motion to adjourn, did anyone have any final words? I know we have, something came in. We have someone who sent a message in the chat about their preference for town administrator. Mr. Pickett, please feel free to join us on Monday, January 25th at 6 p.m. To express your opinion. We will hear from the public, of course. Did any public have any comments, questions, anything that was not placed in the chat that, of course, is appropriate for this meeting? Hearing none, at this time, if it's okay with my colleagues, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Selectman Goulart?
Aye.
Selectman Pacheco?
Aye.
Selectman Zagrafos, aye. Public, we look forward to unveiling our decision on Monday, January 25th at 6 p.m. Via Zoom. So we look forward to seeing you there. Mr. Lynch, sir, thank you.
Thank you. I will see you on Monday.
Absolutely. Mr. Mullen, thank you, sir. We appreciate your application and your interview this evening. And to all our candidates, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.